Hi, and a warm welcome to this episode. If you are someone who walks for exercise, then this video is for you because I am going to cover three things that you need to know about walking as an exercise. I'm Ruma. I'm a certified fitness trainer, a certified fitness nutritionist, and a women's fitness specialist. And in this video, I'm going to cover three things that you should know about walking as an exercise. Now, in what bucket of the type of exercise does walking fall in? It is a type of cardiovascular exercise. Now, cardiovascular exercises are meant to give you the benefit of heart. Heart is an organ that pumps blood, oxygen, nutrients, hormones, enzymes, coenzymes, substrates to the rest of your body, to every cell of your body. So the functioning of heart is very important, and that is why cardiovascular exercises are important. And walking is a kind of cardiovascular exercise. Now, for any activity to be known or to be understood as a cardiovascular activity, it has to be performed at a certain level, a certain intensity. And the way we and the way we identify that number is called the target heart rate. So every exercise has to be performed at the target heart rate. It should take your heartbeat to that level to be able to give you the benefit of cardiovascular exercise. Say, for example, I'll explain this target heart rate with an example. In general, uh, in clinically healthy people, 70 to 100 is the usual heart rate, where if you're maintaining your heart at the rate of 70, between 70 and 100, a doctor will tell you that you are clinically well, you're clinically healthy. But mostly people who are conditioned, who exercise on a regular basis, their heart rate would be somewhere, the resting heart rate would be somewhere in the range of 60 to 70 in moderately athletic individuals. And in highly athletic individuals, professional athletes and people like them will will carry the resting heart rate somewhere in the range of higher 40s, mid 40s to mid 50s, right? So the resting heart rate is um, one parameter by which we identify if the heart is an efficient heart. Now, how do we increase the efficiency of this heart? Right? How did the athletes, how did the people who are moderately exercising or moderately athletic, how did they take the resting heart rate to that lower levels? Is they did it by exercising at a certain level of intensity. They push their heart rate to a certain level while exercising to get the benefit of to get the cardiovascular benefit. And that heart rate, where the resting heart rate is here, target heart rate goes up when you're exercising, and and this gives you the cardiovascular benefit. At the time of exercising, your heart rate should go and touch the target heart rate. And how do we calculate the target heart rate? Target heart rate is usually calculated as 80% of your maximal heart rate. So maximal heart rate, I'll give you the calculation also. You just keep, listening to me, and at the end of this section, I'll give you the calculation. Maximal heart rate is 220 minus your age. So if you're a 20-year-old, and if you're a 20-year-old, your maximal heart rate would be 220 minus 20, which is 200. And then you make 80% of that, that is 160, right? So 160, so a 20-year-old should be exercising. When a 20-year-old exercises, his or her heart rate should get to 160 to be able to give you the benefit of a cardiovascular exercise. When you start walking, initially in the first 6 weeks, when you've started walking as a beginner, your heart rate will go to a certain level. If you've never walked before, if you've never done anything before, and if you go for brisk walking, your heart rate may go up to, say, 95, 100, max of 105, but it will never reach your target heart rate. Never. So walking does not push your heart rate to a level where if you continue to sustain walking as an exercise, it will continue to give you that cardiovascular benefit. So after a certain time, after 6 weeks of doing after 6 weeks of walking consistently, you stop getting the benefit of cardiovascular exercise by just walking. So that's the number one thing you have to understand, that walking for the first 6 weeks gives you a good benefit, but after that, your heart conditions and you will never get your heart rate to your target heart rate, which is 80% of your maximal heart rate, by just walking. So, walking stops to give you that cardiovascular benefit. Number two is the amount of calories that you burn by walking. Now, you may argue that, well, I walk and I must be burning some calories. Well, yes, you do burn calories by walking. Well, you burn calories by talking as well. You burn calories by doing household work as well. You burn calories by going to the market as well, right? So what we need to really understand is how much calories are you burning by walking for 30 minutes. Initially, when you are a beginner and you've just started, you've never done anything in your life, and walking is an additional activity that you have incorporated. 30 minutes of brisk walking, you if you have incorporated, then definitely you will burn calories. But over a period of time, your body becomes efficient and it knows how to burn or utilize energy efficiently. And then after 6 weeks, your body will tend to use uh, lesser energy to help you walk. So beyond a certain point, you really do not get the calorie benefit as either. Second is the amount of calories that you burn by 30 minutes of walking is very insignificant compared to if you come back home and you have a full meal. The amount of calories you're going to intake in the following meal will be much higher than the amount of calories you burned while walking. So that's number two. The amount of calories that you burn by just walking is quite insufficient. Number three, every exercise, for it to be understood as an exercise, for you to gain the maximum amount of benefit from that exercise, has to increase in intensity. It cannot remain at the same intensity, because if it stays at the same intensity, your body adapts to it. And beyond a certain point, after 4 to 6 weeks, within 4 to 6 weeks, when you introduce an activity, your body adapts to it. Initially, it shows results. By 4 to 6 weeks, you're not getting enough benefit of that exercise. So the intensity has to increase, right? And with walking, that is another challenge, that if you walk, you just walk. How will you increase the intensity? Right? So you could have started with a slow walk, you could graduate over to brisk walk, and that would have increased the intensity. But beyond that, what? So just by walking, you will not be able to continue to increase the intensity. One way of increasing the intensity, say you've completed 6 weeks as a beginner with walking as an exercise, what you should look at is increasing the intensity by moving on to a different form of exercise, which will also increase your target heart rate, right? Your heart rate to the target heart rate level. And that could be jogging, that could be running, that could be swimming, that could be cycling. These are more intense form of cardiovascular exercises, and you need to once you've completed 6 weeks of walking, you need to graduate to a higher intensity cardiovascular exercise to get the right benefit. Right now, this doesn't take away the benefits of walking, though these are the three things that I talked about, which which may you may which may imply that you shouldn't walk at all. Well, no, walking is important just for an active lifestyle. So 10,000 steps that has been given as a guideline should be done, but that is not going to give you any additional benefit than just by being active throughout the day. That was meant to be active. So for an active lifestyle, you need 10,000 steps. Your exercising is over and beyond those 10,000 steps. So that is a concept you need to understand. For an active lifestyle, definitely walk, but for exercising, it has to be more than just walking. So here are the three things we covered, summarizing. First is any cardiovascular exercise to give you the cardiovascular benefit. You should be able to exercise at your target heart rate. Second is the calories that you burn by walking is not sufficient. So do not even worry about the calories you're going to burn by walking. Number three is any exercise to be considered as an exercise and to be for you to be able to take the benefit, you should be able to increase the intensity every 4 to 6 weeks because your body adapts to a certain kind of stimulus in 4 to 6 weeks. I hope this makes it clear. Keep walking 10,000 steps a day, but add exercises to your life. Till then, stay fit, stay healthy, stay happy.